how's it going? Welcome back to another information overload, and we have a very cool video this time. It is about Microsoft buying Bethesda and its parent company, ZeniMax Studio. That happened just yesterday. As of the recording of this video, August 21st is when it occurred, and they bought it for $7.5 billion with a B. Obviously, this is a huge play by Microsoft. Big W for Xbox and PC, and possibly a big L for Sony. So with this purchase, now Microsoft owns the IP for Doom, Prey, Dishonored, The Elder Scrolls, Fallout. They have some really great franchises now under their belt, and it's totally changed the landscape of things. You know, back a few weeks ago, Xbox didn't really have a whole lot to show off. A lot of the stuff they did have was kind of underwhelming. Their shows in general have been kind of underwhelming. I don't really take a side. I like PlayStation, I like Xbox, I like PC. I've had all three, so I'm pretty neutral on the whole console war thing. And Xbox has, in my opinion, been very underwhelming in terms of their events. Whereas Sony has really been bringing their A game, showing off Spider-Man Miles Morales and Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and just getting everyone super hyped up about the PS5. There hasn't been as much excitement about the new Xbox. And with this purchase now, and these huge IPs that people from all consoles love, a lot of people are wondering, what does this mean for exclusivity? I don't think it really means that much for some games. So I could see them making Prey, Dishonored, maybe even Doom a Microsoft exclusive just for PC and Xbox. But for something like The Elder Scrolls, I think they're definitely gonna go ahead and sell that across as many platforms as they can. When you look at the numbers, right? So they have Minecraft, which is the #1 selling game ever, and that's been out on every single platform. And The Elder Scrolls is kind of in a similar boat because although it's not #1, it is within the top 20 bestsellers. I mean, it's been on every system. You know, it's released, let's see, PS3, 360, PS4, Xbox One, PC, and then VR as well. So it's released 6 times and across 2 generations. Skyrim has made so much money. It's sold over 30 million units. And the PlayStation 4 has actually sold over 100 million units. So even though Microsoft does have the Xbox fan base and the PC fan base, I really think with an IP like The Elder Scrolls, they're going to want to reach as many people as possible with that. And so I don't think exclusivity is their game plan. I don't even think that the Microsoft consoles are really their bread and butter anymore. So I don't think the classic console war is going to come back really. If this was PlayStation that made this purchase, then yes, I think these games would be exclusive to PlayStation. The difference here is the bread and butter for Microsoft is Game Pass. It's not the system anymore, it's Game Pass, the games for a service, becoming the Netflix of video games. I believe that is the main focus of their roadmap. And so with certain things like The Elder Scrolls, I can definitely see that maybe being a timed exclusive, 6 months to a year, but maybe even not. Maybe flat out releasing on all platforms day one, and their selling point, like their carrot that they're dangling in front of people, might just be, hey, you could pay $70 per Bethesda game on PlayStation 5, or buy a PC, buy an Xbox, and pay for Game Pass $15 a month. You know, if you do the $60 for 6-month pass, $120. That's less than 2 PlayStation 5 games if they're $70, like I keep hearing. And you can play them all. You don't have to just pay $70 for one Bethesda game. You can pay $120 a year, essentially 2 video games, and play the entire Bethesda library, even the back catalog, because Xbox is really good about backwards compatibility. And so that's going to be their really enticing thing, is just offering the best value for money with that Game Pass. And by purchasing ZeniMax and gaining access to those IPs as first party, they've really legitimized and just gained a lot more traction with Game Pass from that. And I think that's what they're going for, is just to get more attention on Game Pass, get more people signed up for Game Pass. Now, in terms of Fallout, that's a little bit trickier because hear me out, they have Obsidian as well, is now a first party for Microsoft. Obsidian developed Fallout New Vegas, which a lot of people argue was the best Fallout. I personally agree with that, but I know a lot of people debate whether 3 or New Vegas was the best. And a lot of people were tweeting out Fallout New Vegas 2, possibility, maybe. Obsidian just tweeted back, it's possible. So they were definitely teasing it as a possibility. And that is super exciting for any Fallout fans. However, Obsidian's other title that they're working on right now, Avowed, is an Xbox exclusive, or I guess a Microsoft exclusive. So I could see them doing something where Fallout's exclusive to Microsoft, or maybe just the Obsidian Fallouts are exclusive to Microsoft, and then have Bethesda Fallouts be, everywhere. That's a little bit harder to tell. Alongside Doom, I think Doom could be everywhere, or it could be an exclusive. Something like Prey or Dishonored, I feel like they could definitely make those exclusive. And The Elder Scrolls is on the other end of the spectrum, where that game has such a reach. I don't think they're going to want to miss out on the Sony players because that market is so huge. I think they're going to try to milk that IP as much as possible and sell it to as wide of an audience as possible, and then just still use it just for showing off the value for money that the Game Pass offers by having it day one on Game Pass for $15 a month. I think that's what they're going to go for. So if you're an Elder Scrolls fan and you were kind of worried because you wanted PlayStation 5, but you've been playing the Elder Scrolls since, 3 or 4, whenever you started, and you were really looking forward to 6, I don't think you have as much to worry about as, say, maybe a fan of Fallout or Doom. In those cases, it's much more murky right now until we hear official word. Now, going off of that, that's kind of where PlayStation lies. PlayStation has a history of being a direct competitor with Microsoft. Nintendo, how does that affect them, right? Well, Nintendo isn't really a direct competitor, I would say, for Microsoft or Sony. I feel like Nintendo is kind of in their own lane since the GameCube. The GameCube was kind of their last attempt at being a leading player in terms of specs. Now they've been recently more leading in terms of innovative gameplay. So things like the Wiimote or the Joy-Cons of being able to dock your Switch, play it on a TV or play it in handheld, stuff like that is more their focus than straight specs. So I do think that any games that is under Microsoft that can go to a Switch console, whether it's the Switch we currently have or what's possibly a Switch Pro coming out in 2021, I definitely think that Microsoft would be willing to release those games for the Switch, just like they have with Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and also Cuphead as well. And keep in mind, Bethesda has had a good relationship with Nintendo as well. They released Doom on the Switch, and from what I've heard, Doom is one of the best third-party games on Switch. So the possibility for games coming to Switch, as long as the Switch can run those games, is really high. I think it's much higher than coming to PlayStation just because of that working partnership. It seems like Nintendo and Microsoft have a much better working relationship than Sony and Microsoft. So I think if you're on the Switch and you're worried, well, Doom came out, Doom Eternal's supposed to come out, would Doom 3 ever come out if we maybe get a Switch Pro that can run it? I think it probably would, to be honest. I think you don't have as much to worry about. Obviously, I don't think the Elder Scrolls 6 would probably come to Switch unless the Switch Pro is much more powerful than I'm expecting it to be. Then again, though, The Witcher 3 did come to Switch, so can't rule it out quite yet. But anyways, that's all I had to say. And if you enjoyed this content, please do like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time.